Good day, people. Neil here. Once again, a reflection video from a recent practice. This time in focus are one-arm spins and especially macaco spins, a project that I'm working on right now quite a bit. For the warm-up, I like to go to the wall and focus on the mechanics on spinning on one arm. It's basically a bridge rotation or a variation of a bridge rotation, but because I'm working against the wall, I can really focus on lifting my fingers, which enables me to spin on my arm. It's a very nice warm-up exercise and I do it a lot. I also then go against the wall in a handstand and I mainly focus on pushing away with my shoulders. And what I did against the wall, I then also do without the wall in the bridge rotations. Actually, there are many cool variations from here, but this one was really just about figuring out how to actually spin on the palm of the hand. Some weight shifts and handstands simply to allow for a better understanding. I created a video, it's called Basic Principle for Supporting Acrobatics. You can find it on YouTube, and many of the drills that I'm doing right now, which is basically just about figuring out a way on how to place my body center of weight, which is roughly at the hip, on top of the base of support, so my arm. Very nice warm-up drills just to also like tune my body like you would tune a guitar, right? And from there I jump into the first exercise, which I call basically, it's a jaguar or a jaguar, but with a little twist. So I actually try to already figure out how to twist on one arm. Because I can do gambis pretty well, I can also like combine the previous exercise with the gambi, and this basically gives me then what you can see right now, which I call the jaguar spin. It was one of the first spins that I learned, and it's a super nice one. Takes a little while to figure out, but in the end I think right now I can do it rather nice. And yes, from here there are many options what you can do. Now, basically in the one-arm jaguar that you see before, I try to spin to the outside, and right here I'm figuring out how to do exactly the same thing, but spinning to the inside, which is very hard for me and I can't do it yet. But I think I at least understand where I need to go. So with further practice, I think I will figure this one out, which then, as per usual, allows for more options in my movement vocabulary. Now after this, I went to this super nice exercise or move, which is a spinning coin, if you would call it like this. I call it like this. And it's amazing. It's quite hard for me to really figure it out, so I can actually swipe through with my leg, the top leg, and bring me into a very nice spin. When I practice these, I tend to fall down quite a bit because they're not so easy. What I'm doing right here is basically figuring out a way how to, instead of just doing one of them, combining them. There is this phrase, one doesn't count, but you need two to make it true, right? So this is often what I do, trying to combine the same pattern over and over again. And this is also something that I did in my skateboarding background. When trying a new trick, I would do it at least 3 times or maybe even 5 times in a row, and then I knew I could do it and not just like manage to do it because of the stars have aligned or something like this. So this is usually what I do. And from there I jumped into the macaco spin, which was the main goal of this session, a move that I have started practicing this year and I have made a lot of progress. In this session I actually managed to get quite a few nice ones where I had a lot of air time. I call it kind of like the floating macaco, where you do a macaco but you enable yourself to really float in this position. And yeah, right here in the session I had the sensation of actually floating through this macaco spinny thing. A friend of mine called this move the sea lion. I like it. And then towards the end of the session, when I did all the drilling, I tried to combine 3 of the main working exercises, which was the jaguar spin, the coin spin, and then the macaco spin. Yeah, and if I have a brain fog or something, then I like simply to mess around with random stuff, as you can see right here. Quite common for me, but kind of refreshes my brain in a way. So once again, I tried the whole sequence of combining the jaguar spin, the macaco spin, and then the coin spin, and this was a little bit frustrating because I was already tired. A lot of learning happened this session, and then being able to really catch the coin towards the end of the session was quite hard for me. So I gave it maybe 10 minutes or something to figure it out, maybe 15. And actually, I think for some of the sequences, I managed to do it. This one was funny, so I put it in there. Sometimes it's this nice sensation of you're a little bit annoyed, but it's also funny. And this is just, for me, the sweet spot of learning. And yes, towards the end, as you can see right here, I figured it out, and I really liked it. So I just went with the momentum that I had and the sensation and kind of wrote it out. And that was basically it for this practice session. It was a nice one. I figured many things out, and yeah, that's it. Now, in case you were wondering if I go into a practice session with a clear idea of what exactly I want to do in mind, then I have to say no, not exactly. Usually I know what I want to work on, but then the true path or the true form of the session will unfold itself in the session. So I do not have certain repetitions or sets that I'm doing. I kind of go with my intuition, and because of my background in various strength disciplines and other disciplines where I worked with programs, I now have a rather intuitive approach. So the path of the practice session will unfold in the session itself, and this is just the way that I like to practice, which suits me very well.